You win.
Hi. It's almost a very cliche thing these days, but you always heard this. Well, if they have ADHD, how the hell can they focus on playing video game so much, but not doing their homework or sitting in class? I used to love playing. My first video game ever was Super Mario Bros. The first one on Nintendo, back in the 90s. That game had the perfect ingredient. It had a very fast pace. It was a very stressful game to play. It still is. It's a very stressful game to play because you're always on the move. You always have to avoid the danger. You had to get on the finish line. You died very easily. Just like that, you would die, which would send me into a fit of rage. When I was a teenager, I bought Nintendo 64, I bought PlayStation, and I was obsessed with skateboarding games. I was so obsessed. I remember I used to love Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I used to love that game. I could play that game all day, no problem. I could literally sit and play hyper-focused on the game. A bomb could go off somewhere. I will not hear it. So why is that? Well, first of all, video games, they provide lots of stimulation. You're always moving, and even my favorite games were games like skateboarding games. I loved fighting games like Tekken. Those kind of games. Oh, there's like stimulation. There's like things happening. There's a time limit. At the same time you play, you have this adrenaline kicking in. You have the dopamine. You're very stimulated. And it's very exciting because you know you're not going to really die. But in the video games, it's so exciting, so exhilarating. You're in the zone. You're in the zone and you play the game. You're engaged in it. The adrenaline just kicks in. You have certain goals you have to do. You have the time limit. It's a very beautiful combination of many things, and that's why it's so addictive. But real life, it's not like a video game. Real life is a little bit different. Real life, you have to sometimes listen to boring conversations. You have to engage with boring people. You have to learn information that has no use or value to you. But because it's part of the school curriculums, you have to learn it. So real life often does not have the same excitement that video game provides. And what happens in real life often? You zone out, you cannot focus, it's very hard to pay attention. But in the video games, everything's different. It's fast, it's changing. And the best thing, if you mess up, you can start the level again or the game again. In real life, if you mess up, you may not get the second chance. You may get screamed at.
Hey, Professor, take it easy, will you?
You may get fired. You know, real life is very cruel. It's not like in the video games we can start over. So what I do myself, many times, this is gonna sound crazy, but I imagine that I'm like almost like in a video game. I'm like a character. For example, I have to edit. When I'm editing, I'm in the zone. I'm editing and I'm really so hyper focused on that, because for me it provides lots of stimulation. You know, I cut, I put this, I put that. You know, it's a very stimulating experience for me. If I train, it's also a very stimulating experience for me, because I imagine in my head that, you know, this is doing me good. This is doing good for my body, for my muscles, for my brain. To eat healthy, I motivate myself. I think about, like, if I eat this food, I'm gonna become a little bit better. I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna be more healthy. My brain is gonna work much more better. But so many times I think of life as a video game. I think about what is my character. If I take this, if I take that, I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna be this and this and that. And many times in real life, I create myself time limits. For example, I have to edit some video, and when you have the sense of urgency, when you have that time limit, when you have that challenge, you have that goal, for me it's much more easier. For me, it helps my ADHD because I have that same elements that I have in video game. I have the time limit, I have the goal. I don't know if this is going to make any sense. So I'd like to hear your experience about video games. Have you played them? Do you still play them? What is your favorite video game? Well, thank you for watching. You can like this video if you want, and I will talk to you next time. Take care, and bye.